practice of TM, practice of TM, practice of TM, it's making us more clearly comprehend the finer aspects of thinking process. This procedure of TM is so powerful to give us clear comprehension of much finer values of thinking process, and eventually give us the comprehension of the still value of consciousness. Clear comprehension. So that, one more step after that is that clarity of comprehension begins to have two phases at the same time, silence and activity. Silence and activity very clearly comprehended. And then the third phase will be to stabilize this thing so that you never lose that thing wherever you are, whether sleeping or dreaming or waking or whether silence, relative silence or relative activity, whatever. That clear comprehension of two values, silence and activity, doesn't lose. So in these 2, 3, 4 steps, life you place on the level of all possibilities. Very beautiful knowledge that already is there, only we have to be regular in our meditations and thereby have the experience of finer thinking process, finer values of the thinking process clearly comprehended more and more, and for that we just go in and come out and don't do anything. Then automatically the whole ability for clear comprehension of very subtle impulses of thought will develop automatically. The whole thing is going to be so beautiful. The net result of that will be that the thoughts will find quick fulfillment. So, thoughts will find quick fulfillment, resistances will not be there, struggle in life will not be there, and when the life is free from struggle and is pulsating in the waves of fulfillment, one after the other, because as our standards of thinking becomes higher, the thoughts become realized, desires become fulfilled, so life is more and more happy and more happy. With this, what happens is that the physical structure, the nervous system, is not exposed to lots of wear and tear. Wear and tear is more to the nervous system, and as a result of that, aging is very fast for the body when one has to struggle. One doesn't find a clear way to do. The mind is strained, the body is strained, and one is struggling through the situations and circumstances, crossing through these hurdles that come on the way to fulfillment of our desires. So when the life is through struggle and strain and resistances, then the wear and tear is more, and then the aging is faster. And when the wear and tear is not going to be more, the struggle will not be there, and the life will be smooth, supported by all the laws of nature, will not violate the laws of nature, and then wear and tear will be less, aging will be less, resulting in long life. So both things are going to develop simultaneously, the ability to fulfill desires and long life. As the stresses and strains in the atmosphere are becoming less and less, there will be more display of inner faculties in all the population, whole population. It's a very great gift. And yet, it is so natural and normal just because life by nature is like that. There is nothing fantastic in this knowledge that we have gained, and there is nothing fantastic in the dawn of the age of enlightenment that is coming on through our activity in the world. There is nothing fantastic about it. Only fantastic phase was that the life has been in struggle so far. That was the most dramatic part of human existence. We can feel amazed how people could have lost this dignity of life. How could they continue in struggle when one's own self, that pure consciousness, unboundedness, infinity, eternity, is the home of all the laws of nature. Everything is there in man's consciousness, the field of all possibilities. So if it's the field of all possibilities and home of all the laws of nature and the home of all knowledge, all these beautiful values already contained in the self, how could a man fail to fulfill his desires? How could a man be in struggle? How could a man not fulfill his wants? Incapable of even survival. It's very, very strange. The inner being, the inner self, is the home of all the laws of nature, because it's that still consciousness is just that. Still mind, silent mind is just that, and that is the self. So when it is the home of all the laws of nature, when it is the source of all creation, when it's the field of all possibilities, how people could miss that? So there is nothing in appreciating the reality of life. What is it? Life is like that, and that's why it must be lived like that. What is it? The surprise has been how it has been not so till now. In having life like that, in having the age of enlightenment like that, in having the ability of fulfilling all desires and live very long life, these are all normal things of life. Just because this is the nature of life that we have found out. So there is nothing fantastic. It's the normal, natural value of one's life. Human existence is meant to be that way. It's a surprise how generations have missed it, how ages have missed it. In such superficialities, the whole thing was lost. And now, you see, within a few days, within a few months, such a horizon of full life opens. It must be so, because life is like that. There is nothing much to knowledge about life, because life is just like that. Evolution is nature of existence. Therefore, mind moves in that direction of more and more and more until it becomes more than the most, unbounded awareness. That's all. So the mind, which is always hankering for more and more, for that mind to get to more and the most, more than the most in that transcendental value, is so simple. For an active mind to become silent is like a running man stopping to run and standing, that's all. So one already has the ability to stand before one runs. So for the mind to be still and quiet and be that unbounded, be that home of all the laws of nature, be the field of all possibilities, is a natural thing, because if mind could be active, it could be silent before being active. Such simple knowledge, but it opened the gate of enormous possibilities for everyone. It's the normal knowledge about life. There is nothing very great about it. But for the world, it's a very, very great thing. It has changed the face of the world from all disharmonies and chaos and confusion and conflict and wars to great peace, happiness, fullness. All this is going to be more and more. It has started on the world's horizon now. It will be more and more and more and more. Such a wave of purification is going throughout the world. Such orderliness is rising, rising. This is the time of phase transition, great phase transition. But overall, the symptoms are getting towards the age of enlightenment, sunshine of the age of enlightenment. Dawn will not be dawn for a very long time. It will be day very shortly.